So the lesson and the moral of the story is you could be right or you could be dead right.
Yes. And sometimes you'll have a great relationship and you'll blow it because you have to be right. So you want the relationship or you want to be right? Welcome to Twin Talks. I'm Nadia.
And I'm Nikki.
And today's episode is about when you're in a relationship with someone who always has to be right. Have you ever been in a relationship who the person is what is known as a right fighter? So can you explain more about who a right fighter is?
They're honestly really hard sometimes because it doesn't matter if it's a partner, a husband, a wife, whomever, right? You always have a person, could be just a friend or a mom or a dad or whatever, but you'll get into something that clearly has several ways to view it, several perspectives, but this person will not concede ever that there's a possibility of those other points of view.
Yeah.
And they will not stop and they will not concede, and it's all about ego. So I swear to you, like, I don't know.
I think they show up in my world a lot. And I don't know if it's me or whether, I don't know what it is about me, but I always have these people who won't even listen to the possibility of what I could be saying, could be possibly right. And I find that I get more and more upset. And I thought, Nikki, we should talk about this. Is this something that's only happening to me? If anyone's watching, can you please tell me if it's only happening to me? I always get into these, I don't know if it's, I've got friends or colleagues or people who just cannot hear and they have to be right all the time. And when you say, just listen, just hear, they keep talking over. Do you have that too?
Yeah, it happens. Maybe not to the same extent, but it does happen. And, for me, there comes a point where, like, this is just me. Sometimes if I'm not in a good mood or whatever, okay, I'll argue it. But sometimes, I just go, forget it. Like, you're not even listening. Like, it's one of those things where you could be talking and they're just going to talk at the same time, ball you down. So it's like, you know what, that makes me just go, okay, forget it, you're right.
0 to 100?
Well, that person goes 0 to 100. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'll go 0 to 100 depending on the mood. But generally speaking, sometimes I can't deal with somebody who's just in the ego.
So what do you do with people like that?
I'll tell you first that I either shut down and just let them be right, depending, or I got a little temper too. Like I kind of sometimes.
Not at all.
Yes, you do. I do, and sometimes I'll get annoyed with it and try and argue it, but usually to deaf ears.
No, I just go, you're right. Everything they say, I'll just say, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
I'll just shut it down and say, you're right. You're right. And guess what? You can also be dead right.
What do you mean?
So when you're that right fighter and you're driving and they see the car coming, you want to be right or you want to be dead right?
That's true.
So that's what I say. There's always a way to look at things and to save a relationship. I've lost relationships and seen relationships be lost when the person cannot concede. And sometimes you can just say, hey, we can agree to disagree. Shut it down.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know what, that analogy is actually kind of funny. Never thought of it like that, but it's true. You know when you're on the road and you have that person who says, it's my right of way, but you'll duck in front even though somebody's zooming and you're gonna get hit. Like sometimes, like in life, you just need to stay back and let them have it, even though it's your right of way and you're absolutely right, but maybe they're seeing it from a different way, or maybe they're just rushing that day and being a jerk.
When you're teaching the teenager how to drive and they're like, well, it's my right of way. Yeah,
but there's a car coming.
You could be dead right. So either follow the rules or get hit and be right. So, and that's how it is in relationship, right? So if you, sometimes you gotta just pull back and say, you know what, okay, fine, take it. That's okay.
Take
You
it.
don't always have to be right.
Well, we don't always have to be right, but once in a while now it wouldn't be a bad thing to just be acknowledged that, okay, you were right.
Or
Come back and say, yes, Nikki, you were right.
they'll never admit that.
I know.
It's the ego.
It's the ego working. 100%. Anyway, stop laughing at me. It's true.
Well, it's true.
So the lesson and the moral of the story is you could be right. Or you could be dead right.
Yes. And sometimes you'll have a great relationship and you'll blow it because you have to be right. So you want the relationship or you want to be right. And that could be in a marriage, it could be in a friendship. Sometimes it's not worth the argument and just say, you know what, we can agree to disagree, and then you move on. And if they bring it up again, you just say, shut it down.
Shut it
That's
down. Shut it
And
down.
just shut it down immediately.
That's her. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm done with this.
Shut up.
Sorry. Anyway, if you like us, please comment and watch us and like us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
You got it again. Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting better, aren't
Yes,
I?
you are.
Anyway, see you next time on Twin Talks.